3.35 million women in America every year suffer from this illness. That's roughly 2 in 10 women, which means that you know at least one person who has this illness. So what is this illness? It's gender disappointment. And I can hear some of you asking, what is gender disappointment? So the Collins Dictionary defines it as a feeling of depression or anxiety experienced by an expectant parent when the sex of the baby does not match his or her preference. So what does this mean in regular terms? It's when a mother or a father is feeling sad or anxious or disappointed because the gender of the baby is different from what they were hoping for, what they were expecting. Gender disappointment is a very serious mental illness that a lot of people have. So it's important to know good ways to combat this illness. And some important ways, or rather some of the most efficient ways to do so, are through online communities, talking openly about it, and if necessary, seeking therapy. Online communities are a great way to be in touch with like-minded individuals, so people who think like you do. Talking about it is an excellent way to get your feelings out. And if both of those other methods fail to resolve the problem, seeking therapy is a wonderful way to go. Online communities are an excellent tool for anybody going through any sort of mental illness, but specifically with people who are experiencing gender disappointment. Some benefits of online communities include identity protection. The option to stay anonymous is available in almost every online community nowadays. The shared experiences and opinions of all the other members, because it is a community for people who experience similar things. Along with that, because there are other people who may have more experience than you, it allows you to seek guidance from them. An important part of online communities specifically for gender disappointment is they are seeking medicalization of gender disappointment as a mental illness. And what this means is that gender disappointment would become an officially recognized mental illness so that they could gain access to resources that they couldn't otherwise gain. Talking about it is another way to say just express yourself, to get all of your feelings out, to let all of your inside thoughts become outside thoughts so that other people can be aware of your situation, what you're going through, and eventually you can come to terms with how you're feeling. You can seek help. An important part about gender disappointment that in order to move on from it is to normalize your thoughts and your feelings of gender disappointment. With nearly 4 million people experiencing this every year, it's a very normal thing that there are plenty of people who share this experience with you. And by speaking openly about it, you can get rid of the shame that's surrounding it. Like I said earlier, if finding online communities and talking to trusted friends and family, if all of that doesn't help, then it's a very good idea to seek professional help through therapy, because we're only human. We can only do so much for ourselves and for each other, and there are people who are specifically trained to help with mental illnesses. And there's no shame in asking for help. Everybody could use some therapy at some point. So, yeah, it's always good to get help if you need it. A quote that I really like comes from Dr. Lindsay McMillan. She is a clinical psychologist. She says, "Let's normalize how common it is for parents to wish for sons and daughters, and more importantly, how no one should have to try and cope alone with the difficulties which can arise if this doesn't happen." I love this quote. It's just fantastic because everybody needs help. It's hard to cope with these new and difficult feelings on your own. And it's always important to have someone that you can talk to about it. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.